Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you my next Scale It Down episode. This month, Simone and I are doing tip-in. So you can see there, that is my traveler's notebook page with a tip-in in it. So what a tip-in is something, anything that tips into the double page spread. So you can lift it up, you can turn it to the right, you can turn it to the left, it can be in the center of your page, it can be attached to one of your pages. It's pretty much anything that is attached to the page that flips away, up or down. So what I'm doing here is I am working with several of the page kits from the Scrap Room kits from February, and I've combined them. So I'm working with a little bit of Simple Stories, I'm working with a little bit of crepe paper, pretty much those two collections, two of the crepe paper collections, and I am working on my Creativation notebook. So this is the third spread in this notebook. My day one was, or my first spread was my travel on the airplane. My second day was my first lift ride, and this is still on that same first day, and this is my trip to the Desert Botanical Gardens. So because I was at the Desert Botanical Gardens, I wanted to use that cacti paper there from Crepe Paper, and I have a dark, you can see the black and white from the page behind it that is peeking through the page, and initially I thought I was going to cover that with that lighter pink, but I changed my mind that there's enough going on the page that you really don't pay attention to what's back behind there, and I also thought that I really can't cover up every page double-sided, so lump it and move on. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm lumping it and I'm moving on. So I used that same lighter pink to back the photo instead, to just give it a little pop of color. And I really wanted some of that darker green that's in the cacti page on the left-hand side to tie in the page on the right-hand side, but it didn't work the way that I had cut the pieces of paper. So then I thought I would use the strip on the whole right border, just like I had done on the left border, only that then narrowed down the pages too much. So I needed to move on from that as well. And so this is where I'm going to create the tip-in. The washi that I have is from Bella Boulevard, and it's really old washi. So I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to maintain my stick, so I just added some extra adhesive, and I'm literally going to tape this bingo card to create a tip-in. There you go. So there's a little flap, and that's really all a tip-in is a flap. And it could be hidden journaling, it could be more pictures, and in my case, I'm going to put both more journaling and more pictures. I could have left that space blank, but because it was really kind of hard to write on, I decided that, and I wanted the lines. I like to journal on lines if I can, possibly, so that's why I put that Reset Girl card in underneath the tip-in there. I had these two pictures printed side by side, and my original plan was to use both of those pictures behind the tip-in as well as some journaling, but the tip-in isn't wide enough, so I have a choice of using one or the other picture, and or trimming the borders down a little bit more. And given that I have these pictures and I print from home, it was easy enough to reprint them. The lacy border on the back side of that Simple Stories card, the colors were great, but the colors didn't all coordinate with the colors I was using. It was just a bit busy for my liking, and I really liked that green, which is from another crepe paper collection, so I just decided to cut out some of that green and put that into the tip-in as well. And as best as you can, you try and cut these things all down to the same size, 4x3 in this case, but I had a little teeny tiny bit of extra there, so I'm just going to grab my scissors and trim off that extra bit right there. So that is a tip-in, and that's what I've done. I have these puffy stickers from Fancy Pants that I thought would coordinate nicely, and that is not from the Scrap Room kit. Most of everything else of what I have is from the Scrap Room kit. And now I've decided I still want that green. I really like that green. I like the way that it coordinates with the uniting pattern paper that I've got in the cacti. And so I want to add yet another frame to my picture or mat. And that's going to be just little pieces of that green sticking out of there. Now, when I stick this down, I think that I might be able to slide a tag behind there and have yet even more journaling, which would be kind of cool. But the space that I create as I journal it down, I wasn't really thinking, and I stuck before so you can see I created a pocket there for the tag, but I couldn't find a tag thin enough to fit in there. I could have created a tag thin enough to fit in there. You're going to see I'm going to try one of these Pink Fresh Studio tags and realize that it doesn't fit. There's my what am I going to do hand. That was the pink paper that I thought maybe I might create a tag out of. And there it's that, but it's too skinny. The space that I have in there just ends up being way too skinny for a tag, really. So I go with Plan B. And you'll see what Plan B is in a minute. So I pretty much have that, and it's time to embellish. And so I'm going to try these various stickers from Simple Stories, and I pull that off and oops, I ripped it. So I have to put it back together, and it's just a sticker from Simple Stories that says follow your heart, which is applicable to the story here. I had come from the airport and was supposed to meet my friend Christine, but she had some work to do, and I had looked into, as I landed at the airport and was waiting for my shuttle, going to the Desert Botanical Gardens, and I felt guilty about not meeting Christine. However, she had plans that she needed to do, so I thought I'm going to follow my heart and I'm going to go to this garden because it's somewhere that I really wanted to go. And I'm going to find the elements that are of similar color palettes to that sort of aqua tealy green. It's not really a teal, it's more of an aqua because it's got more green in it and the pinks. And I've got a bunch of hearts in there because I've used that theme, follow your heart. And that's a little paper clip that was in one of the kits, which was just really cute, the pink sitting on that blue there, and this butterfly from the Simple Stories goodies. And I liked the way that it was floating above that bingo card there and kind of almost gave you a flap to flip in the tip in there. And so instead of the tag, you're going to see I use that doily at the top there. And what I end up doing off camera on that doily is I found a puffy heart sticker from Pink Paisley from a couple of collections ago. It's a Paige Evans collection, and it's that same really bright washi that I have on the left hand side, and I like the way that those two tie the two pages together with those two mimicking bright green elements that are there. I had this sticker, or it's a die cut actually, from Simple Stories that came in my scrap room kit that I really wanted to use, and I do like it down the bottom as I was watching the video and editing the video. I also like it up the top, but as I was designing, it didn't work for me, and so it went by the wayside, which is fine. You can't use every element that you have, and I also like elements to serve purposes. These are going back to the Fancy Pants puffy stickers. And just a little bit more embellishment, just a little bit more color, and just a little bit more to grab your eye and move your eye across the page. So this is my collaboration with Simone that we're doing every other week now, and it's trying to show you how you can do scrapbooking and memory keeping in your traveler's notebook. This is our third episode. We hope to have a fair number of episodes, and this month the theme is tip-ins, so there's the tip-in. And there will be close-ups to follow so you can see exactly how you flip the tip in. And be sure to stop over at Simone's blog and see what she has to share with you. I hope you're enjoying this series. If there's anything in particular you want to see, please leave a comment in the box down below, and we'll see what we can do to help you out with that. I hope you're doing well. Take care.